this is Toby with Birdsong Studios. How are you doing today? I hope you all are well. Thank you so much for joining me here on the channel. I greatly appreciate your time, your attention, and your openness to these messages. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for your continued support. And if you are new, welcome. So in this reading, we are going to be looking at the energies around the new moon in Taurus, which occurs on May the 19th. With this new moon, we have 5 other astrological bodies in the sign of Taurus. So there's so much grounded earth energy. We have the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, the moon, of course, Uranus, and the North Node. At the same time, we have quite a bit of water in the sky as well, with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, and Cancer and Venus in the sign, not Cancer, sorry, Mars and Venus in the sign of Cancer. So, with that being said, we're going to start with 3 oracle decks, and then we'll see how it goes, and we may go to the tarot as well. So I want to start with the elemental oracle, as we have so much grounded earthy energy around us right now. It felt very appropriate to look to the elements for guidance around these energies. Okay. So let's see, what do we need to know around the new moon in Taurus, please, Spirit? Plants, growth. This is card number 9. It is card number 19. Look at that. Okay, we're going to do 2 from this, and then 2 from the Gaia Oracle. Well, we've just come through this. I know I keep talking about it, but it is so... has had such a big influence on all of us, this the eclipse in Scorpio, following, oh, look at that. Oh, and what do we talk about with the earthy and the water energy? Oh, that's beautiful. So we have growth and plants with card number 19, and card number 30, bravery and oceans. Yeah, and it's stepping out into this, from this place of growth and transformation that has occurred through the eclipse in Scorpio. And even I'm getting, of course, the eclipse that occurred prior to that in the sign of Aries. These new revelations about self, about the I am within each of us, and how we've grown and transformed through that process, and there's this balancing upon, or this balance within the earth and the water energies at this time, and it's calling to us to this, to our point of bravery, to a lot of inner child work or issues even, or wounding, has been coming up in the readings recently, and I'm getting that sense from the figure that's on the earth here in this bravery card. The child, she seems very, I'm getting a very young energy from her. She looks young, but the energy just feels very childlike, and so approaching how you balance out the water and earth energies within you, the emotional energies and the grounded energies, the energies of the tangible in your life. And looking at that with what your inner child needs to be supported and to bring forth that sense of fun and joy that allows space for curiosity and exploration. And it's from that state that you can jump into this new cycle with a sense of bravery, because we are being asked at this time collectively. Again, we just talked about integrity. And so what is your truth? What is in alignment with integrating the whole of who you are at this point into the fullness of the transformed you? And the birds. You're growing, you've planted these beautiful seeds and they're growing from this I get this sense of protection too from, is it a, yeah, from almost looks like a moose, but I think it's a stag on this card. Okay, so let's go to, let me go to the Gaia Tarot, or the Gaia Oracle. I keep calling them Tarot, that's interesting. I feel like there's more here. Certainly there's more here, but I think this is going to add. Before I go any further, I feel like we need to flesh it out a bit. All right, so let's see. How are you guys feeling with this new moon coming up? What are you experiencing? It does feel like today feels very quiet energetically so far. I'm feeling on the 17th. So Jupiter just moved into Taurus yesterday, and it does, energetically, it just feels very quiet. And that came out in yesterday's reading too, didn't it? That sense of stillness and respite. And it feels like we are at that point of really looking into what brings us joy and what our priorities are and how we can balance that moving forward with a sense of bravery, so that not only our earth energy is supported, our sense of stability and foundation and abundance and physical vitality, but also our emotional body, our emotional energies are also supported along this way. And we have more water, moonlight. It's card number 36, travel, romance, and potential. Yeah, with that romance, I even get a sense of, oh, it says travel, but a sense of journeying too. And whether that's with other people or a partner or a potential romantic partner, it's this opening of one's heart and seeing the potential there, or allowing for the potential even when you don't see how it is in your reality yet. It's this sense of dreaminess. And oh, and we have the hidden gift, which is card number 9, and this is 36. We have a lot of 9s here, a lot of 9s and 3s. Yes, it's this, we talked about this not long ago in another reading. It's almost, it's, because for the hidden gift card, we have sadness and ending and a new beginning. And it's the shedding of one's skin, as I all of a sudden feel kind of uncomfortable and itchy, and my skin feels almost tight and restrictive. So it's, again, the transformation. Not only is it shedding the skin of the you that was present in the prior cycle, but we're in this in-between space, as we talked about in yesterday's reading, and this is a point of time when we are being given space to, as we are moving away from certain areas or things or people in our life, giving ourselves space for the grieving that comes along with that, honoring those individuals or relationships or places, even for what they brought into our lives, and for what we have gained through that, through the love that was experienced, the wisdom that we gained, the lessons, the skills that we've gained, even the experience of now understanding what we don't want if it was not a positive relationship. But seeing the hidden gift in that and allowing ourselves to release emotions around the moving away from that, allowing ourselves, because see how much space there is in this Moonlight card? See, it's very open. We're coming through this clearing and there's this beautiful water, moonlit water. As we are releasing these areas of our life, whether they be people or situations or workplaces or environments even, or moving to a new home, we're creating space then for the new to come to us, what we've been manifesting to actually come in. If our days are full, if our energy is full, if we are, I shouldn't say full, if we are expending all of our energy all of the time, there's no room for the new to come in. There's no space for it to, it's like always having a locked door. If you have a two-car, I don't know why this analogy came up, but if you have a two-car garage and you want a new car, you already have two cars in your garage. It's a strange analogy, but if you already have two vehicles in your garage and you only have a two-car garage and you only have room for parking for two, then one needs to be let go of to create space for the new one to come in. That is a strange analogy to come through, but maybe that makes sense for someone. But again, it's the hidden gift that's available to us in this grieving and releasing process, and that's seen here with the oceans and the emotion. Allowing ourselves to release that, and even allowing ourselves to release emotions that we've held on to from past experiences. Because as much as we want to make space in our physical world, we need to make space in our energetic body as well. That's really beautiful. There's so much potential here. There's potential for travel, for experience, and I see that not just as physical travel, but emotional travel, mental travel, and travel can be the exploration of the new. It doesn't necessarily have to mean going to new places and locations, although it certainly can. But again, even when we travel, we leave something behind. So recognizing the gift in the leaving behind and the openness it provides us into allowing ourselves to explore what is new, what is unknown, what is even uncharted. Okay, so now we're going to go to the Life Soul Vision Oracle by Romy Wyser. So with these themes in mind, then what intentions, how will you write out your intentions? Where can you make space to allow for these new gifts to come in, to allow for the manifestations that you have planted seeds for, to allow for the bravery to actually come through, the bravery that you're holding within to be expressed, to allow for this new journey that we are embarking upon. And again, nines are indicative of the closing of a cycle. Ten is the point of completion. Mirrors of the mind. Okay, let's move these up a touch because you can't really see it. There we go. And card number 50. I'm drawn to the zeros here too, in the 30 and the 50. And that 0 point is the card of the Fool, and that is the new beginning. Yeah, I had a feeling that would come out. Waves crash and stars fall. So with Mirrors of the Mind, we have this reminder, and we talked about this in the last couple of readings as well, this reminder to be very aware of your thought forms and what is being reflected back to you in your, I'm hearing waking life, because it is going to be a reflection oftentimes of your mental state. The way you experience things in your waking life can very much be a reflection of the expectations or the beliefs or the going back to yesterday's reading, the stories that we're telling ourselves about a particular experience, person, relationship, or ourselves. And with the waves crash and stars fall, this is that, we have two fives here. We have 50 and 32. And 5 is a number of change. And they're very similar in their coloration, aren't they? It's this, I get this sense of this darkness before the dawn. It's the allowing the change to occur. Allowing the change to occur. And again, what is it that you're saying to yourself about this change that is upcoming? Whether it's the change in external experience or whether it's a change you haven't made yet but you know you need to make yet, or whether it's an internal change about yourself. And this goes back to yesterday's reading of the stories that we tell ourselves about ourselves and how we express ourselves in the outer world. Allowing this change to come in and riding with it, recognizing what it is clearing out for us. And recognizing the potential that then is left in its wake even. The destruction occurs so that rebuilding can happen. Not rebuilding, but new construction can occur. Because we don't want to, this is the whole point of it, we are being afforded this opportunity to create something new. So are we just going to rebuild the same structure and expect a different outcome? That's not going to happen. That's living in this a bit of a delusional state. So what are we going to do new? Are we going to allow for this change to come through so that we can create something new, so that we can build upon and utilize all of this Taurian energy to create these beautiful, stable foundations. Taurus can be known for being stubborn, but it's stubbornness that comes from determination. It comes from a dedication to this long view, this goal and dream that has longevity to it. And so that's what we're being afforded the opportunity to create. And if we go into this change point, this point of the old falling away, with the same mindset that we had in the past, we are going to create the new. We are going to recreate the old in place of the new. Okay, let's look at, I'm going to go to the Light Seers and let's look at a little bit of tarot here. And look, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords here. So what are we holding on to? Are we holding on to the old because we are fearful of moving into this new pathway, are we coming at it from this sense of lack, from this belief that it cannot be better than what it was? And this is where we need to come from, this higher viewpoint, and really trust in the universe, and trust in our guides, trust in Source, trust in this process, trust in ourselves to make the decisions and move through this with bravery that has been instilled in us through this process of growth that we've been experiencing the last few years in particular. All right, let's get a couple of cards. Let's see what wants to be added here. There's so much potential available to us, and we have to see these we don't have to. It's asking us to see these changes that are forthcoming and that have occurred in some cases already. Many of us are already witnessing and feeling the changes, but to see them as a hidden gift, a gift that allows space for the manifestations we have been working towards to actually come in. What else do we need to know about this, please, Spirit? Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands here, throwing a bit of fire into this. And then we have the Four of Pentacles again. I'm going to do one more. At least one more. Oh, my nose is just, okay. Oh my gosh, that's Taurus energy right there. Yeah. And the Eight of Swords is very much about this mirrors of the mind. Where are we trapped in our head about this? So from this, I'm getting, I see that the Hierophant in this, the way it's coming through to me as your connection to Source, to God, to the universe, to the angels. And so there's an invitation here to allow your connection to Source and the messages you're receiving to bring through this fiery energy, this sense of inspiration and joy and freedom that is forthcoming, but to feel it now so that it can help to move you out of, sorry about the airplane, out of this state of mental restriction, this state of feeling lack, feeling again restricted, feeling as if you have to hold on to something because that's all you'll ever have. Being unable to see, she has her eyes closed here, being unable to see that just because you have not experienced this, a greater sense of abundance does not mean that it's not available to you, does not mean that it isn't a possibility, a potential. But it does, in order to open your eyes, in order to release yourself from this restriction that is self-created. Because as you can see in this card, it's this mirror image. And in reality here, she has nothing around here. It's all an illusion, which we have in the mirrors of the mind as well. And we did talk about Neptune and Pisces, and Neptune and Pisces will create that energy does have with it the sense of illusion and this dreamy type fantasy state that can become restrictive because it doesn't have the earth energy to ground it and to allow ourselves to open up and be freed from that. So you're very much being asked to connect into spirit and allow your guides to provide you with the inspiration, even this, as she's holding one wand, I almost get this, again, this sense of freedom that comes. Okay, sorry guys, my memory card got full and it shut off. So as I was saying, your guide, connecting into your guide's source spirit is going to help bring through these ideas and this sense of, that bring with it a higher vibration, that bring with it this sense of joy and freedom that comes along with that higher vibration. And if we can stay in this connected energy and this energy of and around the ideas and inspiration and motivation and passion and desire that brought you to this point, it will help to free you. When I say brought you to this point, these are those manifestations that we talked about. The goals, the dreams, the projects, the relationships, the manifestations you've been working towards. Getting back into that energy is going to not only put you back in alignment with yourself, your integrity, a higher vibration, a higher energetic state. It's aligned with spirit, and it releases you from this sense of lack and restriction that can be a lower vibrational state even of the sign of Taurus, but can very much also be related to that unhealed portion of you or within you, or the shadow portion, or the old belief systems, old thought forms and patterns that kept you bound in this state of restriction and of not being able to see, allowing yourself to see the potential of the way forward, even when you cannot see the details of it. So it's being able to see the potential in something, in this blank slate, even when you cannot see how you're going to get there necessarily. You can't see every single step, and you can't necessarily let's see, what am I trying to say here? You're not seeing you're not seeing it necessarily in your physical world right now, but you can feel the energy of it. So just because you can't see it in your physical world does not mean it's not coming into you. It does not mean it's not a potential, does not mean it isn't a possibility. It's opening up your mind and opening up your heart, truly. It's opening up your heart to those possibilities, to dream bigger than you have before, and to trust in yourself from what you've been through, the growth that you've experienced, the bravery that is there within you, and trust in God, Source, the universe, your guides, the angels, as they've been with you throughout this process, and they will continue to be with you. Okay, I am going to end it there. Thank you so much for being with me again today. I greatly appreciate your time, your presence, your energy, your openness, your likes, your comments, your shares, the subscribing to the channel all means so much to me. So thank you again. And if you're interested in a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. Wishing you a beautiful new moon in Taurus, and I will be back soon.